Good morning. While they finish putting out a few chairs in the back, we're going to go ahead and get started just to keep things on time, or at least somewhat on time. Welcome back. Welcome to the 2013-14 school year. I'm extremely excited to be here today, and I'm really excited that we have brought back this tradition. And judging from the volume of voices in here, so are you. I think it's a huge testament as to why we need to do this because of the conversations. I know that this is, in some cases, the only chance that you have to see your colleagues who work in different buildings. So the past half an hour, which is really pretty much social time, is maybe the most important thing we'll talk about or we'll do today, giving you a chance to reconnect. So we appreciate your attendance here. I know that there were some train issues and that sort of thing. So, and some of you had to walk 5 miles uphill to get here, but we're excited you're here. I'm excited that you're here. I hope you had a great summer. I hope you all found some time to recharge your batteries and do whatever it is that refocuses you and puts you in a good place to start the school year. You know, as an educators, there really is no better time. The first days of school, or these days leading up to the first days of school, you go to Target, you go to Walmart, you go to the mall, kids are excited. They're excited about new folders and pencils and pens. They're excited about meeting their new teachers for the first time. They're excited about making new friends. Staff is excited. I know officially today is the first day. Many of you have been in your rooms for days or weeks preparing for the start of the school year. The energy in this room is incredible. So many things make this the most exciting time of the year for me. But I also believe that one of the things that leads to that is that there's unlimited potential. When we start the school year, there are no failing students, no behavior issues, no attendance problems. Anything's possible on that first day of school. I suppose it's a lot like being a Cubs fan. And I think anything is possible because of the power of this team. I believe together there isn't anything that we can't accomplish. I believe that there's a great adventure in every school year, and I'm very excited about the adventure we're about to begin for the 13-14 school year. And I know that our students are excited for that adventure too. Before we start, I do want to recognize 7 community members who put in dozens of hours every month to provide leadership and support for our students and for our school district. Of course, I'm talking about our school board members. Here today, George Davis. Matt Strelo. Craig Byteen, Tom Barton, Vice President Tammy Ryan, President Mike Donahue, and Otto Kruger. I'd really ask for a special hand for Otto, who is leaving the board after the next election on September 10th. Otto has been with us for many years and done an outstanding job, and it's commitment like that serves this community well. So, Otto, we appreciate your service, and we look forward to staying connected with the other things you have on the horizons. So thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite the board president, Mike Donahue, to come forward and say a few words.
Thank you and good morning. I'm glad you all got seated eventually. For those of you that have never taught kindergarten, welcome to their world. But I know we sent the right staff back to herd the cats. Thank you very much. Well, good morning, and again, thank you for being here. Let me be one of many to welcome you back to our new school year. On behalf of my 6th Board of Education colleagues, our message to you this morning is we're glad you're here. We're very excited about the upcoming school year and have great expectations for each and every one of you. While some may view great expectations as maybe a pressure or a cross to bear, we see it different, very different. You see, it's all about the role we play in our future. Whether you help feed our kids during the day, or ensure their safe transportation to and from home, or provide custodial services in any of our 24 buildings, or are responsible for leading the educational delivery model in our classroom, you have a role and a responsibility. I'm proud to say that this Board of Education over the past 2 years has worked extremely hard to understand our role in leading the district. We are responsible for providing the district with a mission, a vision, and a strategic plan that will act as our compass, the stars in the sky, if you may, that will guide us as we lead this district into the future. Our role is not to run the district, but rather to be good stewards of the resources provided to us by the taxpayers, and to hold the leadership of the district accountable to providing the outcomes that are specified in our strategic plan. I've said many times that this district is blessed with some of the most compassionate, committed, and talented educators anywhere. And when I use the term educator, I include everyone, whether you are food service, in transportation, whether you're a teacher, whether you're on the administrative team, a building principal, or a custodian, it is everyone. Collectively, you are the people that will ultimately make the difference. Remember, we all have a role, and regardless of what our position is, we are all impacting the children we are entrusted to serve. At U.S. Bank, where I lead a team of 265 employees, we've embraced a culture known as client advocacy. And one of the core tenets of this culture is the concept that every contact with our client is a perishable moment to impact the relationship between the client and the bank, either good or bad. It's perishable because for all practical purposes, we may not have that moment in time down the road. So the mindset becomes make the most of it, bring your A game every day, every client, and recognize that there's no timeouts or do-overs. We cannot positively impact that relationship by taking the day off and saying, I'll make it up next time. I suggest each of you have these same perishable moments with students, parents, and each other, all which represent opportunities to make the positive impact that we seek. When Superintendent Reingans announced that we were resurrecting this kickoff event, I was excited because I knew it would provide the board with the opportunity to tell all of you with one voice how much we appreciate your commitment to education, to this district, and to the 10,000 children that we serve. And while this board is committed to taking this district to an entirely new level of achievement, we recognize much work remains to be done. But it is important that all of you recognize we are very pleased with the direction of this district. And I want to share with you 3 examples of what we believe represents success in unfolding the potential of every student. First, the Summer Academy that was held this past summer at Audubon. This represented a robust partnership between the Community Foundation, St. Mark's, and many, many others. We were successful in keeping 47 kindergarten, first grade, and second graders actively engaged in a learning environment for 7 weeks over the summer, many of these at-risk students. The early outcomes being reported are very promising in terms of eliminating that brain drain that occurs with many of our students over the long summer break. Secondly, the IT implementation that has occurred over the summer. Raise your hand if you've seen that US Cellular commercial where all the people gather in the old guy's front yard because they can't get a signal. I chuckle every time I see that, but then let's agree that for many of you, that was your experience with our wireless connectivity last year. But thanks to the hard work of our IT staff over the summer, we've increased our connection points from 400 to 1,000 in the district and are now in position, and are now in a position to move full steam ahead on our IT plan for the district. This plan represents a very significant investment by the district in bringing the district into the current age of technology, as well as providing student and teacher access to new methods of utilizing education or utilizing technology in and outside the classroom. And finally, a transportation solution for many of our downtown schools that will ensure if an elementary student starts school at one elementary school and their family transfers or relocates to another elementary district, Dr. Hall and our transportation staff have devised a solution that will allow that student to remain at the initial originating elementary school and minimize the disruption in student achievement associated with changing schools, and sometimes multiple times during the course of a year. You may see these things seem like little things, although you did applaud for you did applaud for the wireless connection thing. I get that. That's big. But, okay, so in some cases they do represent small steps. But what's important to understand is that each of these little things were the result of ideas that came from you. They did not come from the people at the forum, not from the administrative team, and not the board. But you, and most importantly, while the steps may seem small, the impact on our students is huge. You see, this is how each and every one of you has the ability to impact the strategic plan of the district and in turn make a difference in the lives of the students we serve. I know many of you have seen and hopefully discussed the strategic plan that the board approved last year. And I also hope you've taken an opportunity to view the strategic planning meeting that was held later in June. And at this meeting, Superintendent Reingans reported out on the progress being made in the district, as well as articulating with great detail the priorities for the upcoming school year. I think he might have a word or two to talk about that later. The board has been very specific with the district leadership that this is the year of action. You know, many who have come before us have spent countless hours of planning, gather data, plan, gather more data, plan, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, another school year has passed, and yet another year in the lives of our students has gone by, and we continue our old ways of doing things. Now, understand, we are not endorsing the age-old philosophy of ready, shoot, aim, but rather a recognition that there is a sea change occurring within education. And as those responsible for setting the strategic vision for the district, we've chosen the option of making things happen versus having things happen to us. Don't get me wrong, there are some old ways of doing things that should continue, like educators. Remember, every one of you in this room is an educator, taking genuine interest in the students we impact on a daily basis, recognizing that every student is different and deserves an individualized approach to how we educate and care for them. However, with all the challenges that lie on the road to education, there are huge opportunities for us to do things differently. Doing things differently doesn't mean all of you have to re-engineer the educational model. There's enough talking heads out there who will tell you they have all the solutions. We know who they are. But rather finding things that each of us do good, and with just a small tweak, take responsibility for implementing something different this year that will make the impact and will make that great, not just good. I go back to the concept that you're all educators. There is not a person in the room that cannot play a role in this goal of moving from good to great. The Board of Education has made it very clear to district leadership that in order for our plan to be successful, it requires a culture where no idea is a bad one. No challenge of the status quo is summarily dismissed simply because it's different. We don't care if you've been here for 30 years or if you're going to be one of the people that we'll shortly recognize as being new to the district. Your ideas count, and they will be heard. Will they all be implemented? Of course. No, not. But in order to move from good to great, it's imperative that we not restrict ourselves to only ideas that come from the administrative team or the Board of Education. Rather, join arms together with those in the room and count on all of you to help us craft our future. It is time to focus, time to think big, to stretch ourselves, to personalize learning, to work together, to innovate, to engage our stakeholders, to unlock student potential, to empower each other, to maximize our resources. Time to start doing. Not in a week, not in a month, but today. On behalf of the Board of Education, we stand ready to support you in this effort and wish you all the best for the coming school year. Thank you.
Thank you for those words, Mr. Donahue. As you know, we are going to focus on implementation. We'll spend a long time talking about that, not a long time, some time talking about that later today, about how we expect to move forward in the district. But at this time, you know, many of you have coached or been a part of teams, you know that a team is only as strong as each of its individuals. And the task of finding great individuals often falls on the Office of the Human Resource Department, as well as building principals and those of you who serve on teams. So at this time, Mr. Cole Pitts, Executive Director of Human Resources, will introduce the staff who are new to our district this year, and we'd like to show you their pictures, and hopefully you will take the opportunity to welcome them aboard.
No, there won't be a spotlight on me, right, Stan?
No.
We're good? Okay. You know, I've only been in this position since officially, I think, January, but this district and the employees in this district are much like the Mississippi River. You never step into the same river twice, and if I'm not mistaken, I could ask Linda this, in the time I've been there, we've never had a vacancy or never had a situation where there wasn't a vacancy in the district in the time that I've been there. There's always a posting. Doesn't matter whether it's a custodian, a bus driver, teacher, paraeducator, cafeteria worker. We always have positions open. So it's constantly in flux and change. So we've got over 50 new staff members that we're going to put pictures of up here, and they represent the best and the brightest of about 1,200 people in the system that are currently have active applications. So if you're one of those 50, you should feel pretty good about yourself because we narrowed it down pretty quick for that. So without further ado, we're going to start with the pictures and the names and the places. Angie Bishop, Senior High School. And if you would hold your applause till the end, I'd love it if you clap for all of them, but we got to get through this. Apparently we're behind schedule because of a train. Christopher Burns, Roosevelt Middle School. Danielle Carter, Roosevelt Middle School. David Corbin, Hempstead High School. Jane Culbertson, Kennedy Elementary School. Danielle Dowdy, Jefferson Middle School. Tracy Demerth, interesting story. Tracy didn't like her driver's license picture. That's all we had, so we couldn't put one up there. Senior High School. Kaylee Deneve, Marshall Elementary School. Kelly Fote, our second Kelly Fote in the district, Senior High School Math. Carlene Galusha, Marshall Elementary School. Caitlin Glennon, Jefferson Middle School. Morgan Haggerty Schmidt, Hoover Elementary School. Kevin Capros, Hempstead High School. Nathan Kidwell, Senior High School. Robert Kress, Alternative Learning Center. Catherine Lang, Hempstead High School. Randy Lloyd, Senior High School. Christopher Miller, Senior High School. James Neerman, Hempstead High School. Nicole Odell, Prescott Elementary School. Brianna Oxley, Senior High School. Kayla Pitts, Jefferson Middle School. Heather Riley, Senior High School. Emily Reneker, Audubon Elementary School. Charles Schmerkel, Kennedy Elementary School. Emily Schrader, Fulton Elementary School. Lexia Stickrod, Roosevelt Middle School. Sarah Saluki, Jefferson Middle School. Amanda Tidwell, Washington Middle School. Susan Uhall, Hempstead High School. Brooke Vondell, Kennedy Elementary School. Courtney Whitert, Prescott Elementary School. Aaron Burbach, Senior High School. Adam Diddich, Hempstead High School. Jonathan Gard, Prescott Elementary School. Alex McCarthy, Senior High School. Michaela Rhodes, Senior High School. Andrew Roos, Hempstead High School. Candace Raymond, Hempstead High School. Sherry Batts, Carver Elementary School. Jaleisha Hamilton, Roosevelt Middle School. Ashley Caldwell, Student Services. Julie Holmes, Student Services. Nicole Weber, Student Services. Tim Wafiri, Re-engagement, Dubuque. Alexis Adams, Alternative Learning Center. Eric Belatti, Alternative Learning Center. Beth Woodward, Senior High School. Whitney Elgin, Fulton Elementary School. Kristen Helly, Lincoln Elementary School. Ginger McGill, Prescott Elementary School. And Tammy Silver, Carver Elementary School. All right, how about a big round of applause for them?
Thank you, Mr. Colpitts, and welcome to the team, to those of you who are new. It's never a good sign when the speaker brings his speech in a binder. Again, I want to welcome you to what is truly going to be an outstanding year, the 2013-14 school year. This time, or this day, is special to me because since I've been the superintendent, this is the first time I've been able to meet with all of you in the same place and at the same time. And judging from our reaction this morning, it's a tradition that's sure to continue. I want to start by telling you over the past year, and I have been in the district, this is my 10th year, but when you change jobs, you often change your vantage point. In this past year, I've had the opportunity to witness some truly amazing things. I've had the opportunity to be in elementary classrooms, middle school classrooms, high school, special education, and I see on a daily basis tremendous things happening for our students. So while we're going to focus on moving forward, innovating, doing things differently, that's not to say we haven't done things well in the past. We just need to continue to meet our students where they're at and continue to move forward. During the process, the interview process, which lasted about 5 months, for becoming the superintendent, I was asked a lot of times what I thought I could bring to that position. And what I hope I was clear about is that what I bring to the position is important, but the most important thing is my belief in all of you. My belief that it's the people that sit in this room who have the power to choose whether this school district moves from good to great. And I believe that with the right focus, we will do just that. Before I start, I do want to recognize, as Mr. Donahue did, some of the folks who have put in some Herculean efforts this summer. I'd like to start with the IT staff. IT staff, if you're here, would you please stand up for a second? These folks did an amazing thing this summer. In a very short period of time, as Mike pointed out, we went from 400 wireless access points to 1,000. You'll never see them. You'll never notice them unless they don't work, and our hope is, therefore, you'll never notice them. But we should be in a situation where that is going to work nearly flawlessly. They have also done an immense job of rewiring and putting in new furniture, rewiring labs, putting up new computers in your computer classrooms. So it's been a time of change. As you probably know, our director of technology resigned at the end of last year. And so at a time without a lot of oversight or designated leadership in that department, they stepped up and did a superb job. So I think they deserve our thanks and another round of applause. Another group, building and grounds and our custodians, and I would ask them to stand up, but they called me yesterday afternoon, or Bill Burkhart did, and said, we really need to fix the roof at Senior, so we can't come. So they, every summer, go out of their way, work countless hours, and do a phenomenal job of making sure that our buildings are as ready as they possibly can be for that first day of school. Some of our buildings are quite old, and you would never know that by visiting them because of the job that our custodial building and ground staff does, not only during the school year, but in the summer. Add to that oversight of a $30 million reconstruction project at Hempstead, reconstruction project at Kennedy, reconstruction project at Sageville, additions at Carver, additions at Washington, and I'm sure I'm forgetting many more. You'll see that they're very busy people, but they do a great job of making sure that our educational spaces are prepared for students at the start of the school year. So while they're not here today, I'd like to give them a round of applause anyway and encourage you to thank them when you see them. It's always dangerous to start to thank people for the work that they've done in the summer, because I know we have many, many other people, but I really wanted to highlight those two groups. We also have forum staff that works through most of the summer preparing curriculum materials, putting things in place so that as you return to work, you have the things that you need. Administrative team, they technically have, building principals have some time off in the summer, though when I'm out in buildings, they tend to always be there, so I'm not sure how much of that time they tap into. And the list goes on and on. So for those of you, and many of you as teachers, well, as I mentioned earlier, today is officially the first day of work, but I know many of you have put in days, if not weeks, preparing for your students' return. So thank you for that. As Mr. Donahue said, in many ways, the 2012-13 school year was a year of planning. And our charge now is to move forward in the 13-14 school year and make that a year of implementation, a year of action. It was important to take a year and plan, to develop a strategic plan that would meet the needs of our students moving forward into the 21st century and beyond, to refocus our efforts on technology, the purchase of technology, the professional development that has to go along with technology so that teachers have the tools that they need and the training they need to infuse that technology into their classroom on a daily basis. It was important to reconsider our 10-year or long-range building plan. One of the things that, and we'll get into in a minute, the board committed to was a significant usage of 1-cent sales tax dollars, which traditionally are limited to the foundational, either building new buildings or fixing those in need of repair, but recently have been opened up for technology purposes, and you'll see in a minute, if you don't already know, the board has made a significant commitment to spending those dollars and moving our classrooms and our students' access into the 21st century. Mike, could you give me the next slide? In June, I had the opportunity to update the school board on what had been accomplished from a big picture last year. I know that this is too small, and if your eyes are like mine and you refuse to wear the glasses that you should, you probably can't read this. But we will email this to you and the following slides at the conclusion of today's meeting. And I'm certainly not going to stand here and read all of those things to you, but you'll notice on the left-hand side, just some guiding things. We wanted to think big. We wanted to stretch ourselves, personalized learning, work together, be innovative, on and on. And here are some of the things that we were able to accomplish within the district last year. New strategic plan, long-term technology plan, building plans, implement Iowa Core Language Arts standards using LEAD 21, increase frequency and consistency of communication with all stakeholders. Hopefully that is something that you have also noticed, because as stakeholders we're talking about parents and students and community members, but as importantly we're talking about staff members. And hopefully when we talk about communications, it's two-way communication. It's not just how do we tell you what's going on, but hopefully we're getting better at asking you how things are working from your vantage point and how we can improve. And so Mike Size, who was hired last year as our School Community Relations Director, and his staff have done a tremendous job in moving us forward in that area. Go to your next slide, Mike. I know you really can't read this one. This is the report out from the June meeting, as Mike pointed out. of what is it that we hope from a big picture we'll accomplish this year. And again, not everything we're going to do this year is on this slide, but everything on this slide we will do this year, okay? And so we wanted to focus some of our big picture, or commit ourselves as a district to some of the big picture things that we were going to accomplish. Again, this will be mailed to you for your opportunity to look at later. And if you do have an opportunity to view the board meeting, I believe it was June 24th, it's on our website. Take that hour and a half or so and watch that. I think you'll learn a lot about our district. And one of the reasons we are sharing this today and commit to sharing it with you every year in the future, what did we accomplish the year before, where are we focusing on the upcoming year, is because I think too many times when a strategic plan is developed, every school district has a strategic plan, every large business has a strategic plan. I think often the mistake is they forget to tell the people who actually do the work, who are face to face with the students every day, what the strategic plan is all about, and invite them to be part of the planning process and the execution process. So that's why we're spending a few minutes on this today. It's vital that you understand where we're headed. So just a few keys. One of the things we've heard a lot about lately, especially at the elementary level, is the increased needs of some of our students, whether they're behavioral, emotional, psychological. And so we've developed, through dropout prevention dollars, a challenging behavior team. We've received this support in the past from the AEA, and we'll continue to receive that support, and it's good support, but they have a big job and a large area to cover. This is a team that works in our district every day. We're hoping to change that response from weeks to months into days, so that when we have a student who's in crisis, we can get them the help they need as soon as we possibly can. We're going to pilot reporting performance character to middle school parents. We think it's important to include measurements of learning behaviors. We're going to engage our community. Last night, Monday night, we signed many agreements with NICC and how we're going to work with community college for the betterment of our students and how they can better be prepared for their future upon graduation. We are also offering math classes, upper level math classes for our MAMS students on campus through Loras College, senior high school first semester, Hempstead High School second semester. So opening doors for our students to meeting them where they're at with their needs. What else? Great partnership with the City of Dubuque, many things that we're working on going forward. This talks specifically about the hiring of VISTAs and how we can incorporate that help into the needs of our students, but also some ongoing conversations about some facilities things, aquatic centers, so stay tuned, a lot of interesting things there. Effective resource management, and I won't talk too much about technology because we'll talk about that in the next slide, but that is probably where I'm the most excited, to have a commitment to financing where we need to be, where we need to go with the technology and the access for you, the access for our students, and the professional development that needs to come with that, which is under employee excellence, and I'll talk about that under technology as well. Student achievement, implementing a new 8th grade digital literacy classroom so that by the time students finish middle school, they will have had some significant access to the use of technology. I could go on about this slide for a long time, but there are, the point of showing you this is that we think it's important that you understand as a district where we're going strategically. You know, it's not lost on me that these are some lofty goals, and some of these don't pertain to you, but they're only attainable with your commitment. And what happens in your classroom is ultimately what matters. What this paper says, what we talk about at the forum, only makes a difference if you make a difference every day. The power truly is in your hands. We have to do this together. We have to think creatively and innovatively, and we have to take calculated risks. Mike, can you go to the, great. This single slide represents a huge transformation in the district. Those of you who have been here for a while understand that historically we have spent dollars on technology sort of on a case-by-case basis. Often it was driven specifically by dollars that a principal had through PTO or PTA money or through their building budget, or we added something here or something there. we have a commitment from the board to spend $3.5 million out of the 1-cent sales tax each of the next 4 years, and then $2.5 million on an ongoing basis. So not only will we have the funds we need to purchase the technology, provide the professional development, but there will also be a built-in replacement cycle. Spending these dollars without looking into the future and realizing that there is a lifespan on these devices would just cause a headache for us 5 or 6 years from now. This year, already this year, 1,000 wireless access points in place. 1,250 ThinkPad 2 tablets have been ordered, delivered, imaged, and are prepared for the 72 teachers who will go through the 21st century learning training beginning, I believe you've maybe already had your first meeting, but throughout this year, so that we are matching together access to the technology with the training. Our goal was to have at least one teacher per house at the middle school and multiple teachers, 20 or so at each high school, having this training so that they can immediately begin to implement the use of portable tablet computing devices so that as many of our students as possible at the secondary level will have access to technology. We're also changing out 59 of our labs. This will be an ongoing process. This will take us into the early winter months of the school year, but the labs in your building will increase in number and they will increase in efficiency. The new technology that will be developed, we're using Lenovo Tiny standalone computers. It's another great success story, I think, for our IT department. We were within days of going with a different solution that we heard from some teachers and some principals. It wasn't delivering what was promised in the pilot, and the IT staff, in a matter of a few hours, came up with a better solution. It's a little more costly, but it will give our users, our students, and our staff a much better experience. So another a feather in the cap for the IT department. So as we begin to talk about our strategic plan, our moving from planning to action, we wanted to develop a logo which better represented that. So one of the first visible signs of implementation of our strategic plan is the new district logo. We hope it better represents our core mission and the spirit of our strategic plan, and I'd like to share with you at this time our new logo. Can you go to the big picture? So there's an up close of the logo. What does it mean? It's going to mean something different to everybody. I'm one of those people who's not even allowed to pick out the color of the paint in their own home. So when I look at this logo, it had to be a little bit, it had to be explained to me a little bit. But the more I spend time with it, the more I understand where we're at. So some of the key things we wanted to talk about was each and every student. We wanted each and every student to be represented in our logo. So if you notice, this logo is comprised of the primary colors, which of course you art teachers can explain to us is the basis for all other colors in the spectrum. So it doesn't represent different, we didn't depict students of different nationalities, different genders. We wanted something that depicted everyone without fail. So going with colors that are the primary colors. Skills for tomorrow. How could we represent skills for tomorrow? If you notice in these boxes, the fourth one is a four-pointed star. It's sort of looking into the future and moving towards the future. You'll notice the white represents motion, sort of a pinwheel effect. So as we move forward as a group, the motion or that forward movement is depicted into the logo. Citizens of character, I think that one is pretty evident. These are people who obviously communicate and work well together. Innovative and collaboration, that's probably my favorite part. I'm a big believer in innovation and collaboration. I understand that a team has to work together. And I think this is pretty obvious, self-explanatory as to how they are working together, but also communicating together. Hopefully those boxes represent two-way communication. It's not one person telling the other person something, but there is sharing there, which leads into collaboration and meaningful relationships of our professional staff, so the people in this room, but also for our students. We need to get to a point, and we're there in many cases, but we need to move to a universal point where we allow our students time to collaborate with each other. And I listened to a speaker, I guess a week or two ago, who talked about, most of us grew up at a time when if you were talking to your neighbor or working together, somehow you were cheating. And we need to move to a situation where students are allowed and encouraged to collaborate and do that through personal interaction as well as technology. Another bad sign when I have to start drinking water. I think we all know, and I believe, that education in this country is at a crossroads. Public schools in many cities, in many states, are a parent's last choice. It's where you go when you couldn't get into the charter school, you couldn't get in or afford the private school. But that's not the case in Dubuque. In Dubuque, we are fortunate to have a great history of outstanding public education. For more than 150 years, educators have stood where you stand today and provided exceptional education for their students. But now it's our time. Mike talked about moving from good to great. We can choose to move from good to great, or we can choose to become obsolete. We had over 40 students last year from our district enrolling online high schools or school settings. That's 40 too many. We can choose to be part of something special, or we can choose to be part of history. Those of us in this room have the opportunity to shape the future in new and exciting ways. And I believe that 50 years from now, the Dubuque Community School District will still be giving all students access to world-class education, and it will be in great part because of the decisions we make today. I recently saw a video that was shared to me. It's about a 2.5-minute video of a young man talking primarily about, I suspect, race relations in our country. But the more you watch it, you could also be talking about education. It reminded me of what a 10, 11, 12-year-old might tell us they hoped for this school year, what they hoped for from you, what they hoped for from each other, and what they hope for from their future. So we're going to take about 2.5 minutes and watch this video, and then we'll talk about it.
I think we all need a pep talk. The world needs you to stop being boring. Yeah, you. Boring is easy. Everybody can be boring, but you're gooder than that. Life is not a game, people. Life isn't a cereal either. Well, it is a cereal. And if life is a game, aren't we all on the same team? I mean, really, right? I'm on your team, be on my team. This is life, people. You got air coming through your nose. You got heartbeat. That means it's time to do something. A poem. Two roads diverged in the woods, and I took the road less traveled. It hurt, man! Really bad. Rocks, thorns, and glass. My pants broke. Wah! Not cool, Robert Frost. But what if there really were two paths? I want to be the one that leads to awesome. It's like that dude Journey said, don't stop believing unless you dream stupid. Then you should get a better dream. I think that's how it goes. Get a better dream and keep going. Keep going, and keep going. Will Michael Jordan have quit? Well, he did quit. No, he retired. Yeah, he retired. But before that, in high school, what if he quit when he didn't make the team? He would have never made Space Jam. And I love Space Jam. What will be your Space Jam? What will you create will make the world awesome? Nothing if you keep sitting there. That's why I'm talking to you today. This is your time. This is my time. It's our time. We can make every day better for each other. If we're all on the same team, let's start acting like it. We got work to do. We can cry about it, or we can dance about it. We were made to be awesome. Let's get out there. I don't know everything. I'm just a kid. But I do know this. So everybody's doing to give the world a reason to dance. So get to it. You've just been pep talked. Create something that will make the world awesome. Play ball.
That's why we're here. That's why all of us at one point in our life decided to be educators, whether it's to be a teacher, administrator, or work with students as a paraprofessional, as a bus driver, food service, secretarial position, was to create something awesome. Awesome for our kids, awesome for our future. I think about this video, I've seen it 10 or 12 times, and there are some things in there that I don't necessarily relate to. It challenges us to be on the same team, and I believe we already are. And it certainly invites, from a student's perspective, that they want to be on the same team with their teacher. But the part that I like the most, and some of it is hard to hear, is where he says, but what if there really are two roads? I want to be on the path to awesome. And I think all of our students want to be on the path to awesome. Some of them just don't know it yet. Some of them we have to help them see that they can be on the path to awesome. And we have to provide the motivation for them to get on and stay on the path to awesome. I really enjoyed the part where he said he took the road less traveled and there were rocks and glass and stones, and it hurt, man, and it does hurt sometimes. Growing, becoming better, being innovative, taking risks, that's not easy stuff. Easy is to do what we've always done. So there will be rocks and stones, there will be budgets to deal with, state mandates, things that are outside of our control. But if we continue to ask ourselves, how do we give our students an opportunity to be on the path to awesome, we will maintain our right direction. We are at a point when there are many roads to the future. It's our job to choose the road to awesome, and it won't be easy. It will challenge us to push ourselves every day, to be present for all of our students, and to stay connected with our passion, to remember why we sit in this room, to remember why we're excited about the start of a new school year. We need to be this excited in February as we are in August and in May. At this time, I invite, we're going to hand out some lapel pins. So this will take just a minute. As these pins come around, and I hope we have enough, take a moment or a minute and think to yourself, what can you do in your classroom, in your department, in your school, in the district to make the world a better place, to move to awesome? You can pass them out. It was a significant math word problem yesterday when we were in this room trying to figure out how we would hand out these pins. So after much collaboration and teamwork, Mike and I mostly listened, and Trish and Felicia and Aaron mostly talked, we figured out we'd just put them in a envelope. There should be enough for everyone in your row. Please take a pin and pass it on. While those are coming around, please take a minute and think about just one way you can help us move to awesome this year. If you're willing, share with the person next to you what that thing is that you will do to help us be awesome. Research is pretty clear that if you have a goal and then you speak it, and better yet, then write it down, it's more likely to become a reality. So turn to the person on your left or your right and share one way that you're going to help us create something awesome this year. As a group, if we commit to working together, to collaborating, to being on the same team, there is nothing that we cannot accomplish. In many ways, it is our job, educators' jobs, to secure the future of our city, our state, and our country. The stakes are high. Together we can continue to move from good to great. Together we can choose to be awesome every day for our students. Have a great year. I look forward to being in your classroom, seeing what you're doing, and having many conversations. I'm excited about the start of a new year, the unlimited possibilities of what we'll accomplish, and how we'll accomplish that together. Have a great year, and thank you for your attention this morning.